Having a hot, tasty meal during cold weather, power outages, or any kind of short-term emergency like this would be really nice and comforting. And to be able to make meals like that on a 35-cent stove using fuels that you probably already have in your house or can easily get be like the icing on the cake. And to get or have any of the things that you're going to see in this video that you don't already have on hand is as simple as your next shopping trip. Hello, my name is Les and I want to welcome you to the Cheffprepper channel. And in this video we're going to heat some food using a 35-cent multi-fuel stove using fuels that you probably already have on hand in your house or a couple that you can easily get. And at the end of the video I'll show you another version of this stove that is free and you already have it in your prepper pantry right now. Let's look at the stoves and the fuels. There is our stove. There is the size compared to your typical tea candle. There's a quarter. These stoves do come in a 4-pack. I got these at the Dollar Tree. I think I got these for $1, but now they're $1.25. So you do the math, do the division, and you come out somewhere around 32 to 35 cents per stove. First, let's look at the fuels. That's a Sterno Green. It's a gel fuel. This is the Fire Dragon gel fuel. They're both gel fuels, and you may not have them on hand right now, but they are readily available, and I'll put a link to each of them in the description box. Isopropyl alcohol. More than likely you have some of that on hand. Hand sanitizer. And of course it has to be made primarily out of alcohol to be used. And just your regular tea candles. And for that stove, you can only get one of those in it, so we'll find out if we can actually use one tea candle to heat one small can of soup. As a reminder, before we get started, if you're going to be cooking indoors like we are today, it is an absolute necessity that you have a carbon monoxide detector. A little earlier today I was using the stoves, and I'll show you what happened according to the carbon monoxide detector with some of the fuels. I'm going to set the stoves up. There are 4 of them. Remember, 4 in a pack, and I'll be right back. 4 fuels that we're going to use: Sterno Green, the Fire Dragon gel fuel, isopropyl alcohol, which in this case is 91%. This is what we're going to cook today. With Sterno Green, we're going to heat to a rolling boil, if we can. 2 cups of water. Then you can use hot water or boiling water to make many various different things. With the Fire Dragon gel fuel, we're going to heat a can of ravioli. With the alcohol, we're going to heat a can of soup, a large can of soup. And with the tea candle, we're going to heat a small can of soup. Now I know that 1 tea candle is not going to bring water or that soup to a boil, but the soup is ready to eat right out of the can. We're just going to heat it up as we would as if it were some type of emergency or power outage, and see if 1 candle in that stove will heat that. The 4 stoves set up. Ravioli, we're fixing on the Dragon Fire Gel. On the Sterno Green gel fuel, we're going to heat 2 cups of water. On the isopropyl alcohol, the beef soup. Last but not least, can't see it now, but that is the tea candle, and it's going to heat a small can of chicken noodle soup. Ravioli on the Dragon fuel. Dragon fuel burns really hot, heats stuff or cooks stuff really quick. This is the beef soup. And this is chicken noodle soup on the candle. So it's going to take that quite a while. I waited about a minute before I started this, so we're somewhere near the 5-minute mark. So let's check everything out. Ravioli. I think it's done. It is. So roughly 5 minutes, the ravioli was finished on the Dragon gel fuel. So I'm going to put that one out. Let's check our water. Just now starting to steam a little bit. I expect that will take roughly about 15 minutes. The beef soup, lid is hot. That is the beef soup. It too is done. Somewhere in the 12-minute mark. We're at about the 20-minute mark on our 2 cups of water. The tea candle with the chicken noodle soup. Going very slowly. The tea candle did go out, and I did not notice it until about the 10-minute mark. I had to put a new candle in because the wick was messed up on the first one. Our 2 cups of water, and that is the water boiling and the steam coming out. I did have to go back and readjust the candle. The flame was too far below the bottom of the kettle, and I have found that ideally the proper spacing is where the top of the flame starts to barely touch the bottom of the kettle, skillet, or whatever it is you're trying to cook food in, whether you got one candle like this or multiple candles. So the tea candle got the soup up to about 110 degrees, hot enough to eat, but you definitely wouldn't want to depend upon that to boil and purify water. So a quick summary. The ravioli, which is cooled down now due to waiting on the tea candle, is fixed on the Fire Dragon gel fuel. It used approximately a ½ ounce to get that done. The beef soup, which is still hot, was cooked on the isopropyl alcohol. It took almost a full ounce. That is soot, that is, you see the black stuff that got on the bottom of the kettle. Alcohol puts out a lot of that. That did not. The 2 cups of water that we brought to a boil was on the Sterno green gel fuel. It too appears to have taken a little over a ½ ounce, maybe 2/3 of an ounce. Tea candle, while it got the soup hot enough to eat, it would not bring it to a boil, of course, nor would it do so for water. So a tea candle, especially only one at a time, would only be to heat liquid canned foods, soups, stews. Of course, if you wanted to heat more or boil something, you could always use multiple candles. And there are the results that you can expect from your 35-cent alternative emergency power outage stove. Ravioli, soup, and with the water you could fix the Mountain House meals, the Knorr products, and any number of foods. So with just those fuels, you can fix nearly any kind of canned food, freeze-dried food, just add hot water food, and so on. Now, we were cooking indoors today. That does not mean that I'm suggesting or advising you to use those gel fuels indoors. In the event that you choose to do so, remember you got to have the safety equipment like we talked about in this video, and a fire blanket just in case something catches on fire. A lot cleaner than using a fire extinguisher, but you need to have both on hand. As you saw in the video, I showed you some numbers from the carbon monoxide detector. You got up to the level of 50. I'm not sure what the units of measurement are, but it got up to 50. I think 99 is where the alarm goes off. and that was a result of burning, I believe, the Sterno green gel fuel. So I'm not advising you to use it indoors, even though I did, but if you do, make sure you got the safety equipment, especially this one. I'll put a link to this in the description below, and a fire blanket as well. Summary on the fuels. The Dragon fuel or gel fuel burns really hot, really quick, and doesn't have any odor to it. If I were going to get one of the gel fuels, that's the one that I would get. Costs more per ounce, but it performs much better. The isopropyl alcohol does really good. It's quick, burns hot, but it has a lot of soot with it. Tea candles, one tea candle, if you can focus the heat, will heat up a small amount of soup, not much more. If you need to heat or cook more than that, you're going to need to use multiple candles. Sterno green gel fuel works good. It just doesn't smell real well, and I would be a little leery of using it for very long indoors, especially without safety equipment. Do you have a favorite alternative stove and fuel combination on hand for grid down type of emergencies? If you do, let us hear from you in the comments below what that is. At the beginning of the video, I told you I would show you a free version that you already have in your house to substitute for this 35-cent stove. It's a sardine can. Not one that's got sardines in it, but an empty one. And you saw me using an empty sardine can as a stove in this video, including frying some foods. If you'd like to see some other alternative stove and fuel combinations for cooking outdoors or indoors during power outages, SHTF events, EMP attacks, then check this video out.